Okay, let's get ready to go through the part one with me. The part one title is Might Behind Generating Ideas. Okay, now let's see for ideas for invention. How the ideas for inventions, the concept of ideas for invention can be understood by a common man for the invention done so far, so that on that basis, once the fundamentals are built, any common man can try generating idea for inventions. Okay, let's go with this. So, all reader, let's get ready for the exciting, interesting conversation. Please keep science apart for a moment and try analyzing any invention till date. An interesting fact unearths automatically that most of these inventions have been given either one or the combination of the below four fundamentals discussed here. Okay, let's see. So the crux is, even if everyone is not scientist, just need to be on top of below four fundamentals to understand the inventions so far, which are listed here. I'll discuss one by one. If I writing FI, that is the fundamental for invention. Okay, lovely. So list of fundamental for inventions. How I'm jotting it down. So the first fundamental FI1 talks about inventions based on natural power of living creatures, breaking the barriers or limitations for the same by a very big margin as required or if needed. Understood? What is the FI1 fundamental one for invention? Invention based on natural powers of living creatures, breaking the barriers or limitations for the same by a very big margin as required or if needed. Means every natural power the god or nature has given us has some limitation. For example, I can hear, I can speak, but if I speak, can it go beyond some 200 300 meter without loudspeaker or without anything, any inventions? No. I can hear, but can I hear something which is far off from 500 meter? If the sound is not very loud, generally it doesn't happen, right? So these are the limitation. I can run, but there is a limitation. I can run few kilometers or by some speed only. So these are the limitations. So the fundamental one is invention based on this natural power only. We have to give this natural power to the machines to be invented, but these limitations will be overcome. I'll be able to hear thousands miles apart. I'll be able to sit on a machine which has the power of running. I can reach 1,000 miles apart. Okay, good. Okay, so. Now let's try to elaborate this fundamental one. Now list of example of natural powers of living creature. What are those? Hear, speak, see, walk, run, fly. Not for human being, but for maybe birds, right? So this is for living creatures. Okay. So hands to work, 10 fingers we have. Okay. So these are the fundamental. Now it is a well-known fact that all the above natural power of living creature has some kind of limitations, either in terms of distance or visual horizon, etc. Examples: telephone. This machine has natural power of human to hear and speak. A human can hear for a specific distance. Same is true for the reach of his voice. The invention telephone overcame this limitation based on requirement. Note: telephone is discussed as invention number one in part two. Okay, gentlemen, let's continue our discussion now. Television. Okay, this machine has the natural power to see any live event and tell the story of the same by speaking, drawing its picture simultaneously, right? That is what it's doing, again based on a natural power to see, speak, and a skill to draw. We'll see the remaining fundamentals also. Okay, now slowly we are laying the foundation to understand the fundamentals. Okay, this machine overcame the limitation of natural powers of human in terms of distance to see and hear, isn't it? Okay, note, this television has been discussed as the key invention number 7 in the part 2. Okay, let's continue our journey. Now, fundamental 2 for invention. Invention based on skills, but at the same time superseding human by a big margin in the same, which can be developed, enhanced by living creature with their continuous efforts, right? So we saw in the fundamental one based on natural power, but there also The invention must overcome the limitation of this natural power. Hear, see, speak. At the same time, the fundamental two is based on machines or invention based on the skills which can be developed or enhanced by living creature with a continuous effort. But at the same time, invention must supersede human by a big margin and same on so many parameters. Let's see. Example. Now, list of example for skills which can be developed, enhanced by living creature. Number one, calculations. Number two, logic. Number three, make decisions based on rationals. Number four, painting, drawing. Number five, sports like cricket, tennis. All these are skills. Maybe naturally somebody can draw something, but maybe a remote painter has enhanced and amplified or developed that skill compared to that natural power which exists in common man. Understand? That's why I'm considering it as a fundamental too. Okay, interesting, isn't it? Now, examples. Number one, computer. What this invention does? This machine can execute logic, isn't it? Camera. This machine can capture images like human drawing images of the objects, right? Okay, interesting. Let's continue to the fundamental three for invention till date to understand them in terms of a common man rather than what scientists was thinking. We're not discussing that. Okay, so fundamental number three, invention based on providing safety, security, protect from weather, improving living conditions, etc. for any living creature by any structure or device. Do you know if we are maybe during the Stone Age, if there was a heavy rain or maybe thunder, that was a security concern, right? So what this invention talks about? Invention based on providing safety, security, protect from weather, improve living condition, etc. for any living creature by any structure or device. Okay, examples: house. Discuss as invention number 5 in part 2. Very nice. Okay, air condition. Do you think we can withstand against 50-degree temperature? No, right? So we need air condition which can make the temperature a little bit maybe bearable, right? Okay, so that is also invention based on this fundamental only, right? Okay, now the last fundamental which I've discussed in book for invention F54, what does it talk about? Invention based on helping humans to complete work which may not fall in the category of skilled work, but at the same time superseding human by a mid margin in the same. So any machine or device which is invented to help human to complete the work which will not fall in the category of skilled. We saw fundamental 2 which talks about invention based on the skills which can be developed by human like drawing, calculation, logic, sports. But these invention in this category are for those work which may not fall in the skilled work like washing clothes or dusting house, right? So these are the example for day-to-day work, isn't it? So these 4 fundamentals which we have jotted down or identified or discussed here can help all of us, every common man, to understand the logic or generate his own ideas or generate or form his own fundamentals in very simple language, that how these inventions might have been done. But at the same time, we are not discussing the thought process of scientists. Okay, continue journey. Let's continue our journey to understand the fundamental for process improvement. I hope you like all the fundamentals for invention. Let's continue with the fundamental to understand for process improvement. Okay, all readers, let's continue the exciting, interesting conversation. Now, first, let us make very clear that the process improvement is done only for those things which have been invented or already exist. Very simple. Okay, please again keep science apart for a moment. The cruxes, even if everyone is not scientist, just need to be top on top I'm very sorry, just need to be on top of the 4 fundamentals discussed in the above section, and to wisely think that what are the shortcomings in the invented or existing product based on its respective fundamental for the invention. Try to overcome it by combination or extension of the same which may transform the existing item, product in a better way. For example, let's try to understand. As per fundamental FI1, what does it talk about? The basis for a key invention telephone based on the natural power of living object listed below. Hear and speak. Okay, right? Okay. Now let's see how the process improvement is transformed. Okay. But now the interesting fact to understand is if this natural power can be utilized or function at one place for a living object, then at the same time it also functions or can be utilized if the same living object has traveled even thousands of miles. Today I'm in India, MP. Tomorrow, if I'll take a ticket and go to London or New York, can't I hear and speak? I can do that. Okay, so my natural powers are with me. Okay, now why the machine which is invented based on the natural power, which was landline, will still be my home at home? So it will become mobile. Let's say in an interesting way. Okay, so, hence, there was a scope to overcome this shortcoming, and that is how the process improvement for the landline telephone transformed into the most valuable product in today's world, mobile phone. Magic, isn't it? It may be very difficult to list down all the process improvements in terms of its fundamental with regards to how the addition augment was can be determined, but the above concept can form a strong foundation to identify the same for most of the process improvement. Hence listed down seven of the fundamentals out of many potential in this regard. So FP will stand for fundamental for process improvement, and we discuss fundamental for invention with FI. So FI, FI2, FI1, FI2, FI3. I hope you're on top of it. So now FP1 to FP7 for process improvement. Let's see them, discuss them one by one. Okay, here we go. Okay, so FP1, list of fundamentals for process improvements we're discussing. Let's discuss the first fundamental number one. FP1, process improvements based on feasibility to exercise natural power of a living object, not restricted by its location. And see the example. The original invented product was landline telephone. Not it has become product after process improvement, mobile phone. Magic still. Okay, FP2. Now the fundamental process improvement based on adding skills, definitely superseding humans by a big margin, which can be developed by living creature, which their continuous efforts are always add on to invented machine based on only natural power of human or based on completing work does not fall under skill category. So we saw fundamental invention, either the machines were based on natural power or the skills which can be developed or the work which doesn't fall under skilled category. Now, can we combine all these three for any product which was based on either of them and make it better? It can not only perform activities of with natural power of hear and speak, but it can do the skilled work like drawing, painting, taking photographs, right? And then unskilled work also at the same time by the machine. Okay, let's see one by one. So this is the FP2. Okay, very nice. The third fundamental which I'm going to pen down is extremely interesting and showcase a human desire to be a perfectionist or more like a Superman. That too in every possible way, be it the power inherited from nature or any skill can any skill which can be developed goes my definition for the third fundamental for process improvement FP3. Process improvement based on imaginary superhero expert in all possible tasks or skill. We'll see the example also later. Let's discuss all the fundamentals. So FP3 we have completed. Respect to FP4. Process improvements based on socializing independent different heterogeneous machines device like humans socializing with or without any restrictions of location physical distance among them. Nowadays what we are doing, we are making friendship on internet, Facebook and WhatsApp. Does it mean everybody in the same room or the same house, even same locality? No, right? We are making our friendship across the maybe this across the continents, We are even socializing or creating friendship or creating new friends across the continents. So why the machines are falling behind? Okay, let's chat them to socialize them, IoT, internet enabled, like that. Let them make friendship with each other. So teamwork will always be better compared to independent machine is trying to do the work. Understand the FP4 realistic. Okay, now FP5, process improvement based on changing the raw material. The invented machine utilized when in operation, like a human makes changes to his or her food for any improvement if applicable. Okay, now raw material. When we will discuss the example, there will be one very interesting fact will unearth. If a human need food, any living object need food to do work. Machine also need food, right? Some machines need input as electricity. Some needs petrol. So that is their food, right? To understand like a common man. Don't go too much into science. Try to understand in simple words. Right? So sometimes maybe if I'm put on some more weights, what I will do? I'll change my diet. Okay, so according to me, that's improvement, right? So what FP5 talks about? Process improvement based on changing the raw material. The invented machine utilize oil in operation like a human makes change to his food for any improvement. So, just for example, if petrol is very costly and very scarce resource, why can't we change the food of a vehicle to electricity? Why could we see that example? Okay, FP6. What FP6 talks about? Process improvement based on making an invented machine totally self-sufficient in terms of operations, like controlling, improving on its own with no manual supervision. Just like a human expert in any field can finish the work independently with quality, no supervision. So was that applicable like self-driven car? Now what we are making that machine, no supervision will be done to you. Make yourself expert. We'll provide you training like a best batsman, maybe hitting six to win the match. So without he makes his own decision, right? So likewise, machine can improvise on itself with machine learning, IoT, and make yourself self-sufficient. First, we'll give you training, but then let us life PLC will not be running behind you. Right? Okay, this is FP6. Now FP7, process improvement based on improving the invented machine on the same qualities in terms of optimizing efficiency, time, cost, etc. Just like a human can improve their output in this regular activity. So what we are trying to do in this process improvement, if there was initially a mobile was developed with some maybe the camera quality maybe 4 megapixels, now we have improved the same product, maybe another version of it to 100 megapixels, so it is becoming better in quality, efficiency, the same product. Okay, FP1 to FP7, clear? Very nice.